Myself, Syam, one of the co-organizer of Tequila. It's nice to meet you. A lot of new faces today. So without wasting much time, we go to the next one. So how many of you attended the previous meetup where Praveen Senap shared about the n8n? Only one? Okay. So n8n stands for, it's the node mission. It's like visually you can create a lot of nodes. So basically it's a codeless automation and it's open source. You can install it on your machine. They have a cloud version also. So basically you can automate almost anything without any programming language using AI. So instead of writing any programming language like using Java or Python, their API to connect with the server, what you can do, you can play around with different nodes in n8n. So basically there are a lot of services, like 400 plus services available right now, depends on your use case. So it's very ideal for QA engineers, DevOps tasks, even developers, even non-technical people if you would like to automate any of your manual tasks. So basically its concepts are same like automated testing, like we automate the repetitive task and you can connect with your CI/CD integration. Then it has the root cause analysis. If you would like to have the root cause analysis, you can have. So when it comes to the test engineering, like to test data setup, automated notification, anything can be done with n8n. So how you can install n8n? So mainly there are three ways. So the simple one is npm install global n8n. So it can be installed on your machine, or you can install as a Docker container. The third option is go for the n8n cloud. So there are some limitations on how many execution you can do if you apply for n8n. So they have the free version as well as they have the package. So if you would like to go for more, then you can actually purchase more. So there is mainly three core concepts when it comes to n8n. So the first one is, you can treat it like a three Lego blocks, right? The first block is a trigger node. Second one, there is an action node. Third one is, what's the output of this one? For example, let's say trigger node could be like, it could be a schedule trigger, or let's say it's like a webhook. So for example, let's say similar to how we do the any Jenkins or GitHub. If you would like to have a cron job, you can set it up. So in every 1 hour, I need to trigger this one, you can have it. Or let's say a webhook, like some event happened, then you need to trigger this one. For example, let's say you have a Google Sheet and someone update the Google Sheet. You would like to get all the data that recently inserted into the Google Sheet. So whenever that Google Sheet updates, this flow will be triggered. And you can read all the data that being added to the Google Sheet, even the entire previous data also. So such things are possible over here. I think it will be better if I show how can you add the node. So I have signed up a free trial on n8n Cloud, so I just added it as Tequila demo. So let's say when you open for the first time, you will be getting this screen. It will be in your home screen, and you can see that there are 1,000 executions and 14 days left in your n8n trail. So if you click on the create flow, you will be navigated to this particular page. So here you can see that. Yeah, so you can click on your art first tab. So if you click on it, then a sidebar will be opening here, right? So there are a lot of options on the right side here, trigger manually, on app event, on schedule, on webhook event, or on a form submission, when executed by another workflow, on a chat message. So there are so many options out there. So we just go ahead with a simple one, which is on a schedule. So if I click on it, then it will navigate back to me that particular node here. You can see how can I set up this schedule. So different parameters can be set up here. So for example, let's say I would like to execute this workflow in every 5 seconds. Okay, this is my rule. So I'm adding this rule. Oh, sorry, I don't need to add, I just need only one. Now, if you would like to execute this one, you can click on this execute step. So you can see the result here, like what is the current stream and everything. So if you go back to node, you can see that there is a tick mark and it means that it's successfully executed. And if you go to the evaluation, you can see that the recently executed evaluation, you can see it over here. Now there is an inactive button. So if you would like to activate it, in every 5 seconds, this will be executed. So which means that we already set up something like, okay, every 5 seconds I need to trigger this, right? So if you are testing this, if you are still developing a workflow, keep it as disabled. But if you finalized it, then just enable so that it will be start running. So this is an example. Then, yeah, we can go to the next one, action. So action could be a lot of things like after triggering what you want to do. So let's imagine you are creating a new pull request in GitHub. Okay. And what you would like to do, you would like to get whatever be the new files that you recently added, you would like to get an analysis, what's the GitHub metadata. So you can add a GitHub webhook over here. So you will be getting all the metadata. Now, let's say you would like to do some analysis on what's the new code that you have been added. Maybe I'm picking up a wrong example, but if you would like to deal with that data, next do it with an action node. Or let's say if you go back to the previous example, like Google Sheet update, you will be getting all the data and you would like to clean up some data, or let's say you would like to form a different data that you have read, that also possible. So you can read the output of the first step, which is a hook, and trigger, then you can actually add multiple action data over here. So there is no limitation on how many action data you can add. Then there are things like, let's say, edit field. Edit field is something like, let's say you would like to create a variable. So everything acting as a JSON over here. So let's say first column data, you would like to set a variable name column1. So that's possible with this particular edit field. And there are while loop, if check. So depends on the condition, you can set it over here. Like you can play around with your own logic over here. Output could be like, how do you want to, what do you want to do with the final data? Like you could print it out, you would like to send it as an email report, or let's say print as a Slack message, or let's say again, it could be a workflow, that also possible here. So everything will be passing as a JSON object from one node to another node. You can see that there is an expression like double curly bracket. So you can select that particular data into another node. So I will show an example after this when we go for the live demo. So it will be more easier if you get a chance to try out this yourself. So what I am going to cover today, one flow is like, let's say, I have a GitHub repository and I have some backend API, end-to-end API test running over there. So not real test. Every time when I run the test, at least one test will be failing over here. Okay, so forget about what kind of test is running, just focusing on the result part. So what I would like to do, I want to trigger the test from a Telegram bot. So when I give a command start, my repository from master branch, all the tests will be running. A JSON file will be created, which is the output. So this JSON file will have the information on how many tests passed, how many tests failed, what's the test case name, all the other details, even the exceptions. Then I will be uploading this to a Google Drive. Now when I upload to the Google Drive, I am adding it as another webhook, another trigger. There will be a second workflow which will be reading this JSON, do the pass fail analysis, create a Slack message, sending back the final root cause analysis to the same Telegram channel. This is what I'm trying to do. So I will split up. Sorry, it's not Slack, it's a Telegram. So this is my repository. We'll quickly go through this one first. So it's already available, publicly available, so you can have a look at later. So if you're not familiarized with GitHub Action, I will just go through this first. So I have a workflow here. So I think up to 200 minutes per month, GitHub Action execution is free. So it's nothing but a YAML file. So here, what I'm trying to do, let's say, if any pull request that happen in any of this branch, then I am checking out the code first. Now I am setting up my Python over here. So this it will be running on the GitHub machine. Now I have some dependencies and I'm installing all the dependencies. And finally, I'm running a generate report. So I have a Python script to create a JSON report. After creating the JSON report, I have another script to upload it to the Google Drive. So that's what's happening here. Now I'm just printing just a small summary in the GitHub Action console over here. So if you would like to know how I can run this one, so you go to GitHub, go to the Action tab, and you can see the workflow name over here. So click on it. Then there is a run workflow. So you can ignore the parameter. I am not using this one. So you can select which branch you would like to run. Currently I have only master. You click on run workflow. So if I refresh the page, you can see that the tests are running. So you can see based on the YAML file that we have, all the stages are happening. So first it's installing all the requirements. It's running the PyTest. This is a Python-based backend framework, and I'm using all the Faker library to run. So it's not really hitting any endpoint. It will generate random result just for testing purpose. Now you can see that 8 tests are failed, 12 passed. So everything completed within 1 second since it's not the real one. Now I am creating an enhanced report using this particular script that I have. Finally, I am uploading to a Google Drive. Okay, and so this is the link to the Google Drive, and so this is a post checkout code. Okay, this is what's happening. So if you would like to know where it's getting saved, so I have already set up a Google Drive over here. So I ran this 1 minute ago, right? So 7:57 p.m. This particular JSON file uploaded to the Google Drive. So if you would like to open, you can see the content over here. So as test result passed, a lot of metadata information contains this one. So it has nothing to do with the n8n, but what I really would like to have, instead of going to the action tab and triggering the test, I would like to trigger it from my Telegram bot. So when I give the command /start, n8n should understand that, hey, I got a start command. Now it's time to call the run the test on this particular repository. So let's see how does it work. Okay, so I have created 2 different workflows. Okay, so you can see it, right? So first one is a Telegram trigger. So what I would like to have, so I already set up this one, so I will tell you what exactly you need to set up over here. The first thing, when you drag and drop a Telegram trigger, so how you can add it, like you click on the plus symbol, you type Telegram, so it will give you this Telegram option. So you click on it. Then there is a lot of options like actions, get a chat, get administration is in a chat, but we wanted trigger point. So you can see that there is a trigger option over here. So you can see on a message I am typing over here, right? Now in the settings page, what you need to do, you need to set up a Telegram account. So if you go to, if you would like to create a Telegram bot, the steps I'm just keeping over here. Basically, there is a bot father bot in Telegram. So if you go to that one, you can create your own bot. So it will give you an API key. So that API key will be belongs to your bot. So when you go to that one, it will ask you what's the name of the bot that you would like to create. Then it will give you an API token also. So save that API token. And once you come here, you just set it up your account. So I already set up this one. So I already gave my access token here. And the Telegram base URL is api.telegram.org. So I already set up it over here. Now, when exactly it should be triggered? So here you can provide a lot of options like that you have seen in the other page, right? So here I am selecting message, and you can set up some additional field. So this is how you can set this up. But let's say, look at this one. I am for testing save purpose. This is my Telegram ID. So I don't want anyone to trigger this because this bot is publicly available. So I don't want anyone to trigger this so that the workflow getting abused, right? So I just gave my Telegram ID over there. So it will check, okay, if I trigger this one, then workflow will be continuing. Now let's see what happens over here. So I have this channel over here. So n8n demo Takila meetup. So if I type something like, okay, first I need to enable this one. Sorry. Let's go back. I'm marking it as active. Okay, now let's see. Okay, first go with the negative test case, right? Instead of start, I want to do some blah, blah, blah. Let's see what happens. Nothing happens. That's interesting. Let's try one more time. I don't understand. When it comes to the demos, it will be always breaking. Okay, now it's listening. I'm not sure whether the problem is with. Okay, so the node actually executed successfully. Sorry, and you can see that when I executed the steps. Wait. Go to the execution and something is still running. Why it's disabled? Wait. Oh, okay. You know why? Because of limitations in Telegram trigger, n8n cannot listen for the test execution at the same time as listening for production ones. You see this one? Because 5 minutes ago I was showing how to add the Telegram bot, right? So I just added over here. So n8n has a limitation. If you put 2 Telegram trigger, it cannot work. So I'm going to delete it. I'm just to keep it as the all away. Now, if I save this one, see, it's already executed, but I will try one more time. See, invalid command. Because if you look at what happens over here, I get a command here, and I have a if check. Now, okay, just look at, disable this one, and I am just enabling it. And I would like to see slash some command. Now on the left side, you can see this is the output of the trigger. Now you can see update ID, message ID, and who has currently just pinged this particular message, and what's the content. What did we send? It's slash KJJK, right? So you can see that slash kjjk comes over here. Now I have a if check. So my if check checking like earlier I told, right, how you can interact with the element using double curly bracket. So let's say if you would like to add a condition like this, so my condition is equal to slash text. So let's delete this one. I will show you how to add it from the scratch. What you can do, you can just go to this text, drag and drop, put it in the particular field. So this form will be automatically created for you. So you don't need to manually write what that particular text is. So now you can see that result is this one. So from the previous, and I have a check is equal to start. Now let's see what's the output of this if check, right? So I have two conditions. Now you can see that there is a true and false loop. So obviously if it is start, then it go to the true. If it is not slash start, it will go to the false. If it is true, I am running the backend test. If it is false, I am sending a telegram message saying back that basically invalid command. That's what you have seen it over here. So invalid command written over here. Understood. So how it can get to know that I need to reply back to this particular channel? Because that part we didn't set up, right? So if you go back, you can see that I'm adding this JSON message chat ID. So this is something you can get it from the trigger. So this is how n8n understand that, hey, I got a command from this particular Telegram channel. I need to reply back to this channel. So you can add it over here. And this is a small message like, okay, I need to deal only with the start command. So if it is not start, then I am adding it as invalid message. Let's go back. What if it is yes? So I have a GitHub triggering node over here. So I already set up my GitHub details in this GitHub account. So what does it do? I have a operation dispatch, and I'm giving my URL over here. And from this URL, you can select how many repository that I have with my GitHub account. And I have already selected, I need to run this n8n demo. And from here, you can see this is the name of my GitHub action workflow. And you can see, okay, right now I hard coded master. So the master will be always running. So instead of you going to the GitHub repo using UI, now you get everything right. So you got a command start from the Telegram. So now it's time to run the test. Now you already know the GitHub details. Now just trigger it. So uploading JSON to the Google Sheet already handled within the Python. So if you want, you can do it from here also, but since it's already handled within the Python test framework, we are just ignoring it. But let's see what happens after that. So if you send start, so we didn't send start, right? Okay, let's trigger it one more time. Let me activate. Okay, the test start triggered. Now I got an acknowledgement back saying that, okay, now it's time to trigger my GitHub test. So if I go back to my GitHub repository, and if I refresh, you can see that the tests are running here. So this is a simple example. So I just picked up this as a training test, but you could do such similar actions, depends on your use case. You want to do something else, just do it. So the number of code I have written is very, very minimal, like actually almost zero. So you just need to drag and drop, just do the condition check. Then imagine we need to write the code for triggering the test using Python or anything, right? So you need to have the API to connect with the GitHub SDK. You need to set everything. So that's what n8n trying to hide. So it makes sure that your job going to be easy with non-codeless automation. Or the only thing you just need to know, just drag and drop everything. Okay, so let's go back to the sheet. Okay, so it uploaded. The current time is 8:11. and you can see that the JSON file has been already uploaded over here. Now go to the second workflow, okay? Similarly, I have another workflow here. Okay, got it. So this is another triggering node. So the next thing what I got the JSON file. Now I want to parse this JSON file. I would like to do some root cause analysis and I would like to see, okay, why that particular test failed. So here you can see like, so I already have a credential Google service account associated with that one. So if you go to this particular repository, then you can see that if you go to the share, so I already gave the access as viewer account to this service account. So I am skipping how you can create a Google service account. So it's, you can Google it. So it's pretty standard. So this is some prerequisite stuff that you need to do when you need to play with the n8n. So I have created a Google service account. I have shared to this particular folder. Now this service account has the access to view and read all the content of this folder. Yeah. Let me close this one. It's open. Okay. So I am just polling over here. So I am just checking every minute if there is any new JSON being updated. So if there is any new JSON updated, then it will be triggering over here. Then you can even say, okay, what's the folder name that I would like to check for polling? So this is the name of the folder that I need to check on the Google Drive. So if it is there, it will be updated. So what is it will do? You need to download the JSON file in order to read this one because you cannot really directly go and read it from the Google Drive. Now, even though it's no code, actually you can, if it's a complex operation, you can write your own code. So the code block is for that one. So you can write either Python or JavaScript code over here. So this is an example like I'm reading it and I'm saving it as a file over on my local, or not on my local, it's on the server. Now comes the AA part. Now what you got? I got the content of the JSON. Now I want to categorize the root cause analysis. I would like to see why the test failed and how many I can group together, right? That part you can use AI. And if you look at, this is a block for AA agent and this is how it look like. So it has mainly three part. One, uh, when you add it, you can give a master prompt over here. So I have given here, you are an expert QA lead and test automation architect. Your job is to analyze the automated test execution reports in JSON format and produce a clear summary of each failed test, the most likely root cause category for each failure, RCA, and recommendation on how to fix, and basically give some other rules also. So you can play around and you can update as much as rules you would like to add to fine tune your prompt. So this is what your master prompt look like. Now the question is which AI I would be using, right? You can use Gemini, you can use OpenAPI, you can use anything. That part you add it in the Open API model. So basically, if you type AI agent, so if you add this one, then this is how it look like. So you can connect with a node. Then if you would like to add a chat model, just click on it. Then you can select your own model. So usually I use OpenAPI chat model. Here, I already set up some of the pre-filled model for me. So I just want, if you would like to use a Flash, then yeah, I'm just selecting over here. So when you're setting up this for the first time, you need to fill up all this one. You need to set up the keys and everything. So I'm just deleting it. So if you look at this model, I'm using 2.5 Flash. And I already have a credential to connect with that one. So my Gemini API key, I already added to this particular account. So if you open this one, you can see, okay, this is how you add your Open API key. It will be able to connect. Now the next part is you got the output, right? You would like to retain the output in a specific format. You would like to make it as a JSON report. So how do you do that? So you can give an example here. So there are multiple options, define using JSON schema, generate from JSON example, but I go with the JSON example. So I am telling AI that when you return the output, it should look like this. So you should have the failure, test name, message short, RCA, blah, 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 a lot of things. So you can add as many as you want based on your use case. Now I have a split out option. Basically, I just want to get only the failures over here. And I would like to update the failures to an Excel Google Sheet. So similar to what we have done for the Google Drive, we have a Google Sheet service account. And what I am trying to do, every time I am getting a failed test, I would like to store the details in a Google Sheet. And here I already giving the URL to that Google Sheet, what's the name of the sheet, and you can tell what's the name of the column that I need to append. So if I share this one, then, yep. So these are the some of the earlier failed tests that I have run earlier. So you can see that every time when I am run, only the failed test getting updated to this particular Google Sheet. Now, the main part is how I can send back the result back to Telegram, right? So if you look at this is how the summary look like. This is from the previous example after the test has been triggered. So you can see that there is a test summary, there is a root cause analysis, and there's a suggested fix also. And I am categorizing what's the top problems in that particular run, what's the action plan. So how do you get that? So I'm using another AI model. So I am telling that, okay, my goal is to send a Telegram message. And this is you just read the previous data and you give me this particular pattern like suggested fix, top problem. So that should be enough. Imagine you are writing this with a Python code or anything. So you need to do everything from the scratch, or the syntax for Telegram, everything you need to form, right? Now with A, it's going to be very easy. You just tell the example, this is how I want, and it's actually ready-made. Then finally, I am sending the message back to the Telegram. That's what you have seen it over here. So I'm reusing the same account that I have created earlier. Yeah, so recently they have, there is a beta option also. So you don't need to manually create anything. There is an create flow with AI. So you just type what you want, the notes will be automatically created for you. The only thing you just need to do it like add the account. But if you already set up account, it will reuse all the account. But still in beta stage, it might contain error. So it's available on the n8n cloud. I haven't explored it. I just did a small demo. It's working, but still buggy. I have seen a couple of bugs. Most probably it will be matured in another few months. So that's about I would like to cover. So the best thing to learn and understand, you install n8n on your machine, you play around with that one. So pick up subscribe OpenAI or any Gemini model, get the API key, and find out one sample use case within your project, what you would like to automate, what you have been manually doing, what it was really taking too much time for you. Try to see whether it fits, if it is repetitive, if there is a value in automating that one. Pick up that one, automate it. And let's say if your company doesn't, how many companies already using n8n? Anyone using n8n? Okay, then it's a perfect chance for you guys. You do it. You do it on your local. If your company doesn't allow you to do it on your company laptop, do it on your personal laptop. Invite everyone, do a demo, and just compare the result. What you can do with that one. Simple as that. This is how you make the warm moment, right? Don't wait for company give you, hey, now we will get an 8. Don't do that. You just show the example. Let the decision maker make sure that you buy n8 for you. Unless they see a value, they are not going to do it for you. Yep. So a few lessons learned so far for me, like, okay, so make sure that you properly name it properly. Don't do it like split out, up and draw. Don't do it like that. It's a bad example. make sure that you can actually edit it. So just give what exactly really happening in that particular module for documentation purpose. Otherwise, after a few, if anyone look at it, or let's say you look at it, looking at it after a few months, you won't understand much. Um, yep. Then the modularity. So don't add too many nodes. So don't do it like a train. Make sure that you split up and make sure that you can split it into multiple flows so that it will be easy for you to understand and debug. There is something called concept of global error workflow. So what you can do, global workflow will be listening for all the error happening in all your workflow. So if there is anything, then you can do the try catch and you can do the exception handling. Yeah, then just take only the data that you want. Don't just forward all the data from the previous node to the next one. It's gonna consume a lot of tokens for you. So use that set method and set function and forward only the required data. Then yeah, performance like heavy nested loops, just try to avoid. It's similar to the programming concept. Then the security is the most important. So you are playing with the credentials, right? So make sure that you don't really print it anything over here or printing out a Google sheet or anything like that. And it's a good habit that you rotate the API key within n number of weeks. Yeah, I think I didn't cause much confusion. Yeah, I'm open for Q&A. Yeah.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay, in your demo, right, there is a n8n flow, and at beginning you have shown the Git repo. What is the connection between this Git repo and n8n flow? Are you connecting to your Git repo in the flow? Is that n8n flow hosted or repo in a Git repo, or
No.
n8n flow is calling Git repo?
No, there is n8n is calling the GitHub repo. It's not hosted within the GitHub repo. So hosting doesn't have anything related with the n8n. It's independent.
So it's calling means Git repo is also one of the node in that flow.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Any other question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, for n8n, can you use it like in a CLI? Like, let's say if I don't want to play around with the GUI, is it?
Yeah.
Like, are there like some functions that's missing, or you can do everything within a CLI?
I didn't get that. Other than graphic user interface, where you would like to do it?
Yeah, I mean, like, if I wanted to implement this whole thing within a CLI interface, are there some things that I cannot do on the CLI, and I need to do it on a web interface?
Okay, let me understand your question. I understand correctly. Okay, so let it be you have a Jenkins job. So you would like to deploy something and you would like to test it. Let's say your question is like how I can call the n8n from the CA?
No, more like, are there, okay, because I saw on the web interface, you can, let's say, set triggers and whatnot.
Yeah.
But can I do everything on a CLI or like in code? Or do I need to use their website?
Is there any API interface to do that? Is that your question? I haven't explored that much, but I think you create your nodes over here. I mean, when you start writing coding, it actually defeats the entire purpose of callers, right? But I haven't explored whether they provide any API interface to trigger something. I need to check that part.
Hi, this is Srinivas. Apart from Telegram, any other, like most of the organizations, we use the Teams or Slack only, right? So Teams also can be integrated.
I haven't explored, but should be. You can check the documentation.
Because currently, how I integrated my tests is, once the execution is completed, I configured to publish the test results into my Teams.
Okay.
So, I mean, into my QA Teams group.
Yeah.
So is the same way possible to integrate with the Teams using n8n?
I haven't explored.
Okay.
I haven't explored the teams yet, but there should be there is a node. They have 400 plus. So many teams are actually already using this one, right? So it should be possible.
Okay, one last question from my side. So if the flows work, I mean, if the n8n triggers the GitHub repo,
Yeah.
the results will be shared over the Telegram.
Yeah.
In case due to the some GitHub code like issues, because of code processing issues, how the results will be communicated.
Yeah, let's imagine the JSON file didn't get uploaded, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so it actually, the current logic will break because it not really checking the GitHub action is completed or not. So what you can do, after you trigger the GitHub action, you wait for an acknowledgement request stating that there is another node where instead of just fire and forget, you wait until the execution completes. So you can set up a timeout over there, like if it's not completed within 1 hour or half an hour, throw an error, and you can actually get a error message on the Telegram, hey, something went wrong on the GitHub side.
So we have to customize the
Yes,
node as
yes,
per the needs.
yes.
Okay.
Sujit here. Let's say like we are not using GitHub, we are using Circle CI, and Circle CI is behind a VPN. Okay. Can I use that in n8n?
So it depends on where you hosted n8n. So if you self-hosted the n8n behind the VPN, should be
Okay, then
possible
if
to
it's-
communicate, yes.
Okay, so it has to be hosted in the same.
Yep.
Okay.